I served in the Army from 1993 through May 2006. I left the Army after successfully commanding a company from the 10th Mountain Division for 2 years that included 2 deployments to Iraq. During my last deployment, we spent the year providing gun truck security to convoys operating in and around Al Anbar province. 2005 was the worst year to be in Al Anbar. We were consistently attacked throughout the year, and the toll on my company was high. Of my 283 soldiers, I lost 2 killed in action and 23 wounded. Although deployments were taking a toll on me, my wife and children were also impacted at home, and my wife asked me to leave the Army after my command was complete. I agreed and filed separation paperwork upon returning. I came to work at Africa headquarters in November of 2009. I left a pretty lucrative job at Boeing to come here because I was having a difficult time adjusting to my civilian status, and I thought working with the military again, in any capacity, would help me regain the sense of purpose that was missing. Shortly after getting to work here, though, I began to experience physical symptoms that were extremely unsettling to me. While sitting in my cube, I was experiencing lightheadedness, tunnel vision, hypersensitivity, and bad headaches. I'd feel like I was going to pass out and my heart would race after no exertion, just sitting at my desk. I had a very hard time focusing when these symptoms came on. I was focused more on my fear of the symptoms coming and my inability to control them. I felt that if I could control my environment and take some time to be alone, I could regain control and calm myself. Unfortunately, working in an office environment doesn't lend itself to that kind of isolation. Meetings in closed conference rooms became one of my worst triggers. I became constantly agitated and irritable. At times I felt like I was dying, and I was getting extremely frustrated that I couldn't control whether I was going to have a normal day or not. It was at that point that I finally knocked on someone's door and asked for help. Colonel Elliott was our A9 Deputy Director at the time, and I asked him if he could take me to the emergency room. I'm sure he had work piled up, but he didn't hesitate to drop everything and help me. He asked me directly if I was thinking about hurting myself. I didn't take offense to that question, and it didn't put any ideas in my mind that weren't already there. It showed me he was concerned and he understood the severity of my situation. He called an employee assistance program counselor and coordinated for them to see me immediately, and then he drove me to their office. The counselor was excellent. She was familiar with my symptoms and explained to me that it was PTSD. She continued to work with me over the next few months until my case was handed off to the VA at my request. I was in the middle of a crisis that was rapidly spiraling out of my control. I was in and out of emergency rooms for physical ailments that came on suddenly and were debilitating, and I had no idea what was wrong with me or where to get help. I had no idea EAP existed, much less was an option for me as a civilian. It was because Colonel Elliott was such a good wingman that I was finally able to get the help that I needed. He wasn't dismissive, he didn't trivialize what I was going through. He took control of the situation, engaged me to ensure I was not a danger to myself, and he personally connected me with a professional who helped me. Like everyone else here, I'm a professional. I want to support my family. I want to be productive at work. No one wants to be a burden. Combat veterans like myself are struggling with varying degrees of PTSD. Not everyone's struggles are the same, but I believe we all want to be productive, dependable, and valued. A good wingman reinforces that his or her wingmen are valued by being ready, willing, and able to assist when a wingman is in need. Thanks to Colonel Elliott, the Employee Assistance Program, and the VA, I now have much more control over my PTSD, and my symptoms appear less and less frequently.